Alrighty, so here we are. It's Laura and Jenny, and we're going to do a strict muscle training workout this time. And let's go ahead. We will begin with a little bit of a warm-up. So let's step out wide. We're going to roll down and up. Remember, if you need more of a warm-up, there are some 10-minute stretches. There will also be some 5-minute warm-ups. All right, then let's bring it here. Inhale, we'll get some breath in here too. Exhale forward. Inhale, 4 times down. Now let's step out wide, arms up, and just a little tick-tock side to side. Now let's bring it up, spine tall, belly button in. Let's twist side to side. And let's come back here. So we're going to do a little bit of balance here. Let's just lift and shake one leg out. And then we'll take it to the other. Now let's lift that foot up. We're going to flex and point our toes, circling at our ankle, taking it the other way. Let's try the other foot again. Flex and point, circle, and switch it. Let's step out wide, hula hoop. Take it the other way. Now let's stand up tall from here, elbows wide again. This time we're going to squeeze in front, open up. So just imagine tapping your elbows back behind you. Now let's hold our arms wide. We're going to look at one hand and then the other. Back and forth a few times. Let's come back to the center. Hands and head go up and then they go down. Up and down. So then we'll hold our head still, circle our wrists. Let's take that the other way. And we'll step out wide. So just a little more warm up. Our first move is gonna be squats anyway. We'll get nice and warm from that. Let's lunge side to side. Let's start to make a big circle. And then we're going to circle the other way. Now let's come back to the center. Pelvic tilts. So let's look at our form here. We want our knees softly bent underneath our hips. We're squeezing along our belly here. Very important to think about that. Hips coming forward toward the ribs. We're going to do a little bit more with this later, so let's make sure we get it good now. And just to add to that warm-up effect, let's add that squeeze. And then one more time, we'll take it to our hula hoop. And the other way. Let's take a couple of deep breaths here. Again, make sure you're nice and warmed up. And we're going to move in to the weightlifting portion now. If you're at home and don't have any weights at home, you can always grab a can of food or some water bottles or a jug of water. But if you do happen to have some at home, you can use the weights too. And just so you know, your own body's probably enough weight most of the time, so you don't even need any of this extra stuff. It's just fun to add it on. Let's step out wide. We're going to start with our thighs. We're going to step out really wide, start to drop our hips down. We're going to start with some plie squats. So hands can be on our thighs, hips. We can be holding on to our weight. Let's just take it up and down. So think about squeezing and lifting. Take it slowly. That way you feel it. good. Making sure our knees stay back behind our toes, but they're tracking out with our toes. 4 more. All right, let's bring our toes forward and just a little stretch here. We can keep our head above our heart, or we can go further if we're feeling it. And let's bring it up. Moving on. So this is where we will need our dumbbell or whatever weight we're using. We're going to be working our upper back with some rows. So you probably use heavier weight than you think. A couple of options. For those of you who have a mat at home, you can do this on the floor. If you're going to be standing though, we're going to take a lunge, have the dumbbell in the hand opposite the knee is forward. If, however, you're at home and you've got a mat or don't mind being on the floor, you can take it to the floor. Here we go. We're going to roll our elbow up to the ceiling, squeezing through the back of our shoulder blade. As if you're going to punch a hole in the ceiling, belly button lifting up. Let's do 4 more. If you've got the right kind of weight, 12 should be kind of challenging. And let's go ahead and set our weight down. And let's give that arm a little hug. Maybe wiggle our fingers. All right, let's take it to the other side. So we'll lunge the other leg forward, or just get the dumbbell in the other hand. Shrug our shoulder blades together. Here we go. Lift it up. Looking good. Belly button lifting up too. See if you can get 4 more. 8's always a good number too. And let's give that arm a hug. Again, wiggling our fingers, especially if we're holding something small. That's one nice thing about the cans. They're a little bit easier to grip. All right, shake it out. So this next one can be done sitting or standing. We're just going to use one of our weights, whatever we're using. We're going to take it into one hand. Don't grip it really hard, just hard enough to keep it from falling. And we're going to reach that arm up overhead, using the other hand for support to keep pushing it up as far as it'll go and pulling it in toward our head. All right, so let's start in an L shape. Lift it up, lower down, lifting up, and down. So again, if we've got the right amount of weight for this muscle group, 8 should feel kind of tough, 12 should be really tough. Keep pushing up and pulling in with the other hand. See if we can get a couple more. This might be the right weight. All right, 1 more. And with support, let's bring that down. Shake it out. We're going to switch sides. And here we go. Let's take it up with support. Again, continue to push up and pull in. Here we go. Lift it up, lower it. Lift it up, lower it. Slow and steady. See if you got 4 more. Keep breathing through it. With support, let's bring that down. And we're just going to take our arms up for a moment, give them a little stretch. Focus on taking some deep breaths here. And let's do the other. We'll do a little bit more stretching at the end. And shake it out. So we're going to go back to some legs. And again, you don't need to hold on to any kind of weight for this. I promise you, your weight will be enough. All right, so get near a wall. You are going to want to get near a wall for this one. If you're going to do just one leg. We're going to take it to our heels and toe lifts. Or we're going to see if we can do it on one leg. So we keep one foot, the toes down, lift the foot up. I like to cross it over, But see if you can lift the toes each time and the heel. Woo. And again, that should be enough weight already. Woo. Been a while. Okay, walk around for a moment. Shake that one out. We will use the wall to stretch that out in a moment. All right, let's do the other leg again. Hold the wall. You can stay on both legs or come on to just the one. Now, since you are using your own body weight, you can do as many of these as you want.
I'm done.
Okay. All right, shake it out. So we can also use the wall for a quick little stretch, just pressing one heel back. And then the other. And it's also good to take a little water break. You want to stay hydrated. How are you doing?
Good, I got plenty of water.
Plenty to eat too. All right. So for this next one, again, we're going to use our own body weight, push-ups. So again, if you've got a wall, you can take this to a wall. If you do take it to the wall, well, I'll tell you what, let's all do it this way first. Shoulders back and down, elbows into our ribs, hands in front of our elbows. So when we're on the down portion, this is where we want to be, elbows in. If you're going to use the wall, you want to step up to the wall just like this, and then step back, and you're going to lower down, elbows come right back to the ribs. Press it out. And here again, do as many as you can personally. So we can do this on the floor, on our toes, or our knees. And just see how many you can do. You can also use a stair or a bench pushed up against the wall. Let's take a little break. All right. Let's come back up. Take a deep breath. I tell you what, also open up. Going to move on to some arms next. So this time we probably will grab our can of food or our bottle of water. All right. Yeah, smaller weights. Let's shrug it back and down. We're going to turn our palms down. We're going to do some bicep curls here, palms down. That way we get some forearm in there. So just hook the thumb underneath, lifting in and up through our navel. Think about exhaling every time we lift, inhaling down. Maybe two more. All right. Whew. And we can press those out to the sides. All right, so let's move back to our core. Starting with those pelvic tilts, we're going to start to the front. And then we're going to see about squeezing into the side. So the side rib toward the hip. Squeeze it as if you're pinching in on that side of your body. Let's take it back to the center for a couple. Then we're going to try out the other side. Again, squeeze it. See if you can move only the hips. Let's take it back to the front and step it out. So just a quick side bend here. Like I said, we will stretch everything out in just a few minutes. Other side. right, so let's go ahead and get our light weights again. If you even want to use weights for this, we're gonna shrug our shoulders back and down. We're gonna work our shoulders, they're smaller muscles. So we're gonna take it to a lateral raise out to the side. We can do it with long arms, or if you prefer, you can have your elbows bent. So which way do you like to do it?
I'll do the bent.
All right, so here we go. Again, go for 12. Exhale when you lift. Inhale down. It really helps if we use our breath. These are our smaller muscles, so they may get tired quicker. Switch it up if you need to. One more. All right, let's set these down. Shake that out. All right, so let's take it back to that press forward and back. And we're gonna press our arms together. Squeeze the hands together. Now let's just open and close right here so you can keep our arms together. And open it up, pressing back and forward. And let's release. All right, let's step one leg forward, other leg back, keeping hip distance between them, pushing the heel way back. And let's reach our hands back behind us, clasp and open up. So several deep breaths on our own here. See if we can get our breath under our control. And we're going to release, straightening out our front leg. And just come as far forward as you're comfortable going. And we'll bring it back up. Let's switch sides. So again, keep it hip distance, push it back to the heel. Maybe on this side, we'll take a little back bend. Let's lift the elbows back. Let our head rest in our hands. Now let's release, straighten the front leg, and again, just come as far forward as you're comfortable going. We can also use a chair here. All right, let's bring it back up, stepping wide. So we're going to come halfway forward. If you want to go further, you can. And let's just lunge over to one side. And we'll take it to the other side. Let's bring it up. We're going to bring our feet together. So option to cross one leg over the other or keep the feet the way they are. We're just going to come forward. Again, use a chair if you want to. Hold on to your own body. And let's lift up from here. We're going to take our hand up and take it to the side. Let's bring it up, switch feet, come forward. And we'll bring it up, side bend, other way. Let's bring it up. Let's take our arms up overhead. We're going to reach back so we can touch our shoulders. Let's take a look at one arm and the other. And you can see from here. Let's give ourselves a big hug. And we're going to inhale and reach up. Exhale, let it go. Let's set the other arm on top for our hug. If you remember which one it is. Inhale up. Shake it out. One more big breath. Alrighty, so if you feel like you need some more stretches, I do have some deep stretch videos on the channel as well. But thank you for joining me for this. I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Laura.